Hoi hoi, my impatients. It is I, Andrew the Android Koloski here. I am live and I'm ready to perform for all of you. I hope you will join and engage with me and come filing in. How art thou? How art thou, my impatience? So I guess I'll start off here. Why is social media? Okay, here we go. Social media was lagging there, which was kind of peeving me a little bit. But it seems like it's cooperating with me now, so I'm happy. You feel me? We got Piss in the house. How you doing, Piss? Long time no see. So I'm going to share with you some artwork while we get some people filing in here. So this first one is called Mr. Sunburn. You see somebody on the beach who's very sunburned, and it says, "Skin cancer will kill me. I'm dying. Help." Mr. Sunburn is, obviously this is a metaphor for me. I feel like I've been in the sunlight all day, every day for years, constantly getting sunburn. But, there's no medical evidence I have skin cancer, so I think I'm high risk. But the next one, Squid, who's a coworker of mine, says, "Yo, did you hear about the crazy people in New York City?" And I think to myself, stop talking about me. Just tell me I'm crazy to my face. Don't give me metaphorical clues. Tell me I'm crazy. And Dr. Natural says, this is an example of ideas of reference delusions. He's talking about crazy people, not you. I say, I hear you, but it really feels like they're talking literally about me, not crazy people. But they say it's ideas of reference and predicate logic. This one, my mother's yelling, "You're a loser, a burden, the bane of my existence. You'll be in a group home." I'm getting emotional. I want to react. My mother is yelling and yelling and yelling at me, and I'm passive. Dr. Natural says, it'll be okay. Take it easy. Things are elevated in terms of mood. She'll calm down in an hour. Maybe get out of the house until everyone calms down. Go for a walk. Avoid her. It's sound advice. And last, I say, I suspect there's a group of gang stalkers who watch me through the internet. They have get-togethers to laugh at my content. They are acting like I'm a rich and famous celebrity on TV, these conspirators. But I'm a disabled adult child with no money. They project onto me, act like they know me, but I'm not famous. And Dr. Natural says, no one has confirmed or corroborated this. You're coming to beliefs about what you suspect is true. It's a delusion. And lastly here, I'm going to share with you my mother's painting, which obviously she spent a lot of time on, and hopefully you like it. So this right here is my mother's painting. What do you think of it? It's called Sunset Beach. That was the name she gave to it. 666 says, I like your mother's painting. Yeah, she has a lot of others that I'm going to scan and start uploading too. Chiba Chiba says, tell her the colors look beautiful. I will. Chiba Chiba. Somebody says, I stopped watching after you banned Dave. To be honest with you, Dave is unbanned. He's actually free to come back, but he doesn't want to. So he's not banned. He just doesn't want to be here anymore. I did ban him, but I unblocked him, and I invited him back. So to the people who say he's blocked, that's not true. That's just not true. Alice says, why are you never making progress? That's true. Over the course of the past year or so, I haven't made much progress in my life. It's up to me. They say no progress last year and the year before and the year before that and the one before that. What does progress look like, Andrew? You always discuss it in vague terms without any real, actual goals, So I think progress would be, going to the SOAR program, meeting with social workers, taking medications, maybe getting a job. If I'm well, I want to look back a year from now and say, look at all the progress I made this year. I think I can make progress, but you have to do it and you have to take action. Nobody's going to live your life for you. You have to make the progress. You feel me? You catch my drift? So he says, "Nice shirt, big dog. It's actually old, ripped, and wrinkled, but I'm glad you like it. If you're being sincere, Peter, it is a cool shirt. That's the reason I'm wearing it." He says, "I got that in gym shorts. Thank you, thank you." Yeah, the shirt is old, ripped, wrinkled, but I like the shirt. I mean, if I didn't like the shirt, I wouldn't be wearing it. So. Alice asks, will you miss your father when he is gone? Will you look back and see how badly you treated him? Good question. Yes, I will. I don't think I fully grasp that he's sick and he has cancer. I don't think it fully has sunk in. I mean, I understand it. I hear it, but I don't think I fully comprehend it, if that makes sense. I also think, because of the hostile dependency, because we constantly fight. Um, you know, Obviously, just because we fight doesn't mean I don't love him and won't miss him tremendously if he passes away. Yes, there's a lot of frustration with me being dependent on him. Yes, there's a lot of frustration, that I'm dependent on my parents. But I love my father very much. I mean, is anybody perfect? I mean, I'm certainly not perfect. Nobody's perfect in relationships. But if he's not, available to talk to, I'll miss him tremendously. I talk to him usually every day. So, yeah, of course I'll miss my father. Chiba says when you're emotional or delusional, sometimes you treat people cruelly, and you know it really erodes the relationships. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I mean, obviously, you treat people cruelly when you're emotional. That's true. That's a fair point. Fair point. But like 666 says, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Um, so myself included. I'm not perfect, myself included. So I know. I mean, I know when you look this good, you're like, how could he not be perfect? But I assure you, I'm not perfect. And neither are these celebrities that we see. Man, that should go without saying, though. I mean, yes, these young and beautiful celebrities, they're perfect. No, they're not. Alice says, do you realize if a person wants revenge on you, it's because you probably did something to them? Okay, but also, there's degrees. If somebody does something nasty, you don't have to go for overkill for revenge. There's degrees of revenge. Some things require a slap on the wrist as revenge. You don't have to go for the jugular vein. Some things, some things as punishment. And they say the best revenge is to live life well. It's no revenge. It's massive success. It's to enjoy your life and not be focused on others. So I mean, I think I hear you. I hear you that if a person wants revenge on you, but the best revenge is to just say, forget, not seek revenge. Um, but there are things that are kind of unforgivable. Let's say, somebody murders your family member, hypothetically speaking. You might want to seek revenge on that person, but also Um, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think also the best revenge, like psychiatrists told me, the best revenge is massive success, is to live life well, and it's happiness. I mean, if you're miserably seeking overkill on people because they treated you wrong, I mean, it's like you're a miserable person. It's like you, you don't have to give somebody a receipt because they treated you wrong. Let's take the example of let's take a smaller example here. Let's take the guy that I walked out of the movie, with. I mean, if he, I mean, it would be juvenile in him, which I was wrong. I'm sorry that I did that. But let's say he gets together with me just to walk out of a lunch with me, just to give me a receipt. It's like, I mean, what are you, 5? You know what I mean? Like, what are you, a 5-year-old? Okay, congratulations. You taught me a lesson. You taught me I was wrong, but I know I was wrong. I mean, like, okay. Miru says yes. Alice says, "Do you ever think you are the nefarious one?" Well, I mean, everything is shades of gray. Nobody's solely the monster or nefarious one. Even like deranged serial killers were probably treated poorly in certain situations. They were probably abused by their father or something like that, or who knows. You know, so what do you mean by I'm the I mean, in the situation with the friend that walked out of the movie, I was wrong in that situation. Absolutely wrong. But there are times my mother is certainly wrong. And there is times my father is certainly wrong. Things are shades of gray. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is solely the monster. Like somebody says, "Have you apologized to this friend for walking out of the movie?" I did communicate with him. I did apologize. I told him I wasn't feeling well and I left. However, maybe communicating the reason why I left and letting him know, hey, look, it won't happen again. I'm interested in being friends, but, you know, somebody says, you lied to him and then you walked out. So if he does do it to you and didn't apologize, you deserve the receipt. I mean, if he wants to juvenilely walk out on me at a restaurant, okay, congratulations, you got your receipt. But ultimately, like, okay, you know, like congratulations. I admit I was wrong. I admit I shouldn't have walked out on him. But you know, but also I don't want to go out to eat with him now because I'm afraid he's going to do that to me. So should I communicate with him? Should I have a heart-to-heart conversation with him? Say, look, dude, I was wrong. I'm sorry for walking out on the movie with you. I mean, there was a reason why I did it. I mean, I don't want to get into detail at the reason why, but there's a reason why I did it. Um, you know, um, so I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we're still friendly. Somebody says Andrew is making kind. I don't know if they're dates. I mean, but he knows he's yeah. Yeah. I'm looking to get together with friends, and I'm looking to get together with friends. I'm not looking. I'm interested in women. And you know, I have hardly any friends besides this. I want. You got. Yeah, that's the reason basically. But I'm interested in women. I don't like men. I don't want to. That's that. You know, Somebody says, take an old lady to a movie. So Mirror says, if this is, I don't walk out on people regularly. That's very untrue. I don't know who created that narrative. Who else have I walked out on? What other friends have I walked out on? Sometimes, no, I don't really. I mean, well, my parents are different. Somebody says you walked out on Sam. I don't think I did. Did I? When did I walk out on Sam? I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I wouldn't have. I don't think. I don't think that's true. Somebody says. I mean, I've got like neurological damage. Somebody says you were getting chicken wings with Sam and walked out on him. I'm trying to think. Did I walk out on him? I don't think I did. No, I think you're making that up, Miru. Alice says, I still have your artwork. I'm glad you liked it and you didn't throw it out, Uh, I'm glad you didn't do like a sensationalistic tearing up my artwork video. And say, oh, ha, ha, I teared up his artwork. Like, okay, if he did that, I'm not upset. I mean, congratulations. Oh, somebody says, all right, I'm on. All right, I'm on live, so don't say anything. I don't want any. There's peanuts or cookies. Okay, I'll grab the peanuts. I don't want the popcorn though. Okay. I'll see you later. Thank you, Mama. All right. Cobras. Dinner from my mother. Yes. I'm having fish for dinner tonight. Somebody says, you are pampered like a toddler, Andrew. That's true. Somebody says, are you... Peter says, fish sticks give him the most energy, fish and steak. Yeah, I agree. Well, let's change the topic for my art class friends. Alice says, you need to be more honest with your friends. Yeah, I hope to be. I hope to find a bestie that I can communicate with openly and honestly, Somebody says, fish is great. That's for sure. Somebody says, your friend Alan has a lot of charisma. Yeah, I like Alan. Alan's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. So I'm the next state over from New Jersey. I'm not close to North Jersey. Yeah, I'm Long Island, New York. So you know, unfortunately, I'm not that close to that. I met Alice in Merrick a few months ago. It appears like she's in the house, so let's not talk about my friends. Let's change the topic. Anybody have any more interesting topics here? Cobras asks, why do you listen to Rusty so much? That's true. I mean, he's got a proven track record of being reliable, having good intentions. I think people have, when people prove they're genuine, trustworthy, you can trust them more. But also, just because he's trustworthy and has proven himself loyal doesn't mean he can say things that are mistaken or be wrong in certain situations. But he proved he had good intention, is loyal, and has good character. Gigi wants to know, would you mind if Mark and Alan, started dating? He said they would be a good couple. Um, I don't know. I'm looking for a best friend. I'm looking for a romantic partner. Um, Whoever it may be. If I'm happy and they're happy, I think that's what I'm happy for. I hope Rusty has not betrayed me. Somebody says, I hope Rusty has not betrayed me. I mean, betrayal happens. I mean, you trust people for a while and they can betray you, but I don't think he has. I think you're just putting thoughts in my head, Cobras. You're planting seeds of doubt. I don't think Rusty has betrayed me. I don't think, Mark and Alan have betrayed me. I don't think my mother or father have betrayed me, though I sometimes get persecutory delusions they have when I'm toggled on in an emotional tsunami. So that's not true. I don't think everybody's betrayed me. I often get delusions my parents are keeping nefarious secrets from me and have betrayed me, but that was good salad. Somebody asks, would you be upset if Mark and Alan started dating? Hey, if I'm happy, if I'm dating somebody, I'm happy if they're happy, you know? I genuinely like Mark and Alan. I hope there's no betrayal, but you never know. Hey, Large Mike, what's up, dude? Long time no see. Large Mike goes back to the 2017 chemically lobotomized days. Alice asks, do you ever feel like you're being watched by people in your neighborhood? Yeah, actually, yes, I do. Often. But I'm told I'm a complete unknown and nobody truly cares I exist. Nobody is truly watching me. You know, there's no Hollywood undercover. There's no nefarious gang stalkers undercover. It's all delusions. Somebody says, where is Rusty these days? I don't know if he has animosity towards me. I don't know if I did something, or maybe he's just busy. I don't know. I mean, sometimes somebody says, have you ever been followed by a car? Not to my knowledge. But like kind of, with Breaking Bad, I kind of like feel like I am the danger. I am the one who knocks. I dare somebody to. No, you don't want to put that out there. You don't want to dare somebody to follow you because you really don't want. But I'm mentally unstable. People don't usually like to mess with crazy people. Somebody says your mother is the one who knocks. She knocks with the dinner. Mama, I am the danger. These sugar mamas and, predators on the internet, they should be scared of me. I am the danger. I am the one who knocks. Alice asks, do you think you are dangerous? Not really. I'm kind of joking. I don't think I'm that dangerous. Somebody asks, did your mother really get the police involved? When was this? This was 2011. I think it was June of 2011. So what did the cops do? They took me to the psychiatric hospital. No, I don't have a police record. My mother did not press charges. And it's sealed. I have no criminal record. She could have, though. I don't look at it as getting away with it. I look at it as an act of maternal love. Thank you for not pressing charges. You know, I don't look at it as something I got away with. You know, oh my God, I got away. That's not how I look at it. But somebody says, "Do you think your mom is ever embarrassed or humiliated by you saying stuff on the internet? Do you ever feel humiliated?" That's an interesting question. Yes, I do get embarrassed very, very often, especially when I'm in public and around people. Um, I think it's easier to be a tough guy on the internet. You know how they say, "I'm on the internet. We're all tough guys here." It's like the song "In My Garage" by Weezer. You know, like in the garage, I feel safe. You know, nobody cares what I do. But I like when I tried to do my act to an audience, you know, an open mic night, I felt embarrassed. I felt anxious and introverted. You know, so somebody says, "Yeah, why is your mother bringing up the broken hand situation in August of 2025? She just likes to attack the straw man. You know, she just likes to bring up the past and just attack the straw man, basically." I didn't intentionally break my mom's hand. I just tackled her. It doesn't matter. I don't. I mean, I mean, it's. Let's not dig up the past. She just brought it up to attack the straw man. Somebody says, "Isn't it a bit much to keep bringing it up 14 years later?" Realistically, it is. It's like you know, it's like 14 years later. What? I mean, why are we bringing that up to attack the straw man? Six says my pleasure beverage was an interesting video. Are you drinking a lot of alcohol again? Um, I'm having one or two or three beers a week. So I mean, I want to just not have any. I don't want to develop an addiction, you know. So he says 2 beers a week. Isn't that bad, to be honest? Yeah, I guess it is. Maybe I need to make a conscious effort to stop. You see, I'm lonely and I have nobody to talk to, and I'm just sitting in my apartment. I'm like, what can I do tonight? Well, maybe I'll drink a beer. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm. So I don't want to develop an alcohol addiction. That would be bad. So. Somebody says, "You ever try vodka?" Not really. I don't really drink the hard stuff, to be honest. Somebody says some chicks who think guys drink are cool. Some chicks think guys that drink are cool. Okay. Somebody says, "I guess you can't pick up women at the bar because you got no money." Yeah. Miru, I'm just about ready to get rid of you. You're making up and exaggerating narratives, by the way. You're making up things and exaggerating things. Somebody says, you often exaggerate, Andrew. When I'm performing, I do. I've been told I'm dramatic. Alice says, why can't you handle the truth, Andrew? I can handle the truth, Miru. Oh, Alice, I'm sorry. Alice says, I hope Andrew has forgiven me. I mean, I mean, what you did wasn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily hate you. I'm just, I'm just kind of like. Taylor says, Andrew thinks the truth is false narratives. So are there hidden realities, or is everything as it appears to be? Are there hidden realities? I mean, or is it? Somebody says no. There's no hidden realities. Somebody says, when did you first start thinking there was hidden realities? I don't know. Somebody says, I think these mega long streams have shown how mentally unwell Andrew is. If you say so. Who said I called the FBI on my grandfather? I never called the FBI on my grandfather. No, I didn't. I never said I called the FBI on my grandfather. So he says, yes, you did. I don't remember that. But it was seriously, if I did. Oh, he had long since passed away. I was thinking oh, this was my cousin undercover, and he was remembering something from my childhood. No, I started getting persecutory delusions in 2011. He passed away in 2009, so he was never alive to see it. He says, "Oh, good." Giant Pick Letter says, "By the way, I'm not your cousin." I didn't call the FBI on him. He was no longer alive. Yeah, I sent emails. I don't know if I sent it to the FBI. I sent it to people. Somebody says college must have played a part in your mental illness. Fair point. There's a lot of pressure. You're under a lot of pressure when you go to college, and obviously, when you start failing courses and you're heading for mental illness, um, you know, it obviously is bad for your self esteem. Actually, that's why a lot of people actually in other countries, especially Asian countries, commit suicide because there's a lot of pressure when you're in college, and it feels very monumental. It's a very turbulent time. Um, at least it was for me, and felt like a lost soul. Felt like just a number, and I don't know if it's necessarily the fault of the college. It's just college life in general. A lot of pressure behind it. Yeah, after I started sending emails, the college threatened to kick me out. Yeah. But I did mental health treatment. I got a letter that said I was mentally well to return, and they allowed me to return. TBS, what kind of emails did you send? Emails accusing my parents and family of sexual abuse, basically. I sent emails to professors, the police at Stony Brook, other students, a lot of people. No, yeah, I said my. This was when I was going. This was when I was in the process of going to the psychiatric hospital in 2011. It's delusions. They didn't actually do it. Somebody says, funny your mind went there. Well, I was a virgin at the time. I'd been involuntarily celibate. Um, my parents were constantly yelling at me. I was young and very sexually frustrated. It's kind of like now when I feel the constraints of my life, I blame my parents for bringing charges of sexual perversity. That's basically what it was. I was sexually frustrated. My parents were always yelling at me how I was failing school. And, when you feel the constraints of your life and you're not having sex and you can't get a romantic partner and you're an incel, you blame people by bringing charges of sexual perversity. Was I really suffering? I was running all day long. I was failing my classes. Yes, without a doubt, I was suffering. I had no social skills. I didn't know how to interact with people. But also, um, you know, they did not do anything. Somebody says, well done. You know the truth. It's delusions. Mm-mm. I did not do anything to now Alice. I was a perfect gentleman. I bought her a coffee. I'm just gonna block Alice. I'm gonna she's goodbye. I'm gonna block Miru too. I didn't do anything wrong to Alice. I was a perfect gentleman. If she got uncomfortable by me, it wasn't anything I was doing intentionally. Somebody says it might have been his eyes. He's intense sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I did not have any. I was a perfect gentleman during the date. Maybe she was, uncomfortable, but it was not intentionally done, in any way. Somebody says your eyes look a bit Kurt Angle today. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Somebody says, are you still taking the Abilify? Somebody says, I look forward to the next Asian woman who will join the chat. It will no doubt be an alternate account of Miru. Yeah, I went on a date with Alice from the chat in May a few months ago. It didn't work out. A bunch of guys came. They took a picture with me. They left. She's real. Alice is real. It was very brief. She left. It was that date. Yeah, it was that date. And she still follows me, so. Somebody says, oh, that. She says, I thought you meant somebody else. She brought dudes with her to the date, yeah. And they took a picture with me. They got my artwork. Long story. I don't want to get into it. It was. She was actually the nefarious one, not me. Somebody says they were local kids messing with him. Somebody says, you got what you deserved. How do you say so? 666 says, the whole date was suspicious as fuck. She's a loser. Somebody says, that's pretty terrible to do to someone. No, her intentions were probably nefarious. She did not return my artwork. In fact, she said it in this stream. She still has it. Which good, you know, whatever. TBS, is it possible she's a witch and she's using it for curses? I don't really know. I don't really know what Alice does. I don't know a lot about her. I had like a 20-minute date with her. Some guys showed up, they got a picture with me, and they got some of my artwork. They got a free coffee and left. Mm-hmm. 666 asks, when she sat down, did she mention other people were going to join? She did not. She did not. I had no idea they were there. In fact, they didn't even indicate they knew her. They said, oh, we know you from the internet. We're big fans. Can we get a picture? Or something like that. Can you scene it for us? So I was on a date with Alice. Two guys came up to me who claimed they knew me from the internet and wanted a picture with me. Alice went to the bathroom. She came back. She said, I got to leave. I don't know what their intentions were, what the story was, but just whatever. But yeah, I was definitely not the nefarious one there. They had nefarious intentions. So he says, boo, Alice, boo. It really wasn't a date. They were just bullying me, basically. There were monsters behind their masks. Yeah. They got artwork. They got a picture. Congratulations. Somebody says, you're going to have to get used to that because that's the kind of energy you attract. Yes. You know, try to attract more classy people. Somebody says it was a facade. Somebody says they probably sold the artwork on eBay for $666. Sex! The Lord said sex! Brian says you got to get into the real world. All you're going to do is find trolls online. That's a good point. Try to meet real people in the real world. All right. I did about an hour. I don't know, Rusty, were you here? I don't know if Rusty was here or not, but I certainly hope he was. I certainly hope he was. He says, do another hour. All right. All right. TV asks, have you tried showing your artwork in a New York gallery? Well, lately my artwork has been mental health for panels, which isn't really... It's more like a comic strip that illustrates points in mental health. I don't think art galleries would be interested in that, but I don't know. Maybe they would. It's not totally not an art gallery, but you know. All right, guys, any last questions here, or should I hit the old dusty trail? Should I hit the bricks? Should I peace out? Somebody says Andrew's like Daniel Johnston. Somebody wants more Little Winky songs. More Little Winky songs. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Anybody got any last things to say here? He says, adios, amigo. All right, peace out, guys. Adios.